show you downtown Winnipeg. Gave me an excuse to get dressed up and put makeup on, so thank you for that. I kind of feel semi-human at the moment. But first, obviously, we need Canadian biker coffee, so Timmy Hortons it is. Hi there, could I get a medium vanilla iced coffee, please? Made with cream?
Vanilla iced coffee?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a good one. Yes. Secured the coffee. So this is part of the Manitoba Museum Planetarium. Have not been here in so long. And this is the concert hall. Excuse the incredibly loud trucks in the back. I honestly don't even know who this guy is though. Let's find out. Well, it's Duff Roblin, whoever that is. He has a building named after him at the university too, so I should probably Google who this guy is. Oh my god, that just went right through my boot. Anyways, Duff Roblin. Right there, that building is our city hall. And we will get closer to the Exchange District downtown, which is the cooler part of downtown. But concert hall, and then right here is a very, very old building, built in the early 1900s, I believe. I'll actually have to Google it because I can't remember when this building was built. But this is the Pantages Playhouse Theater, which I have danced at a few times actually. I do believe they kind of decommissioned it though, which is unfortunate. The Manitoba Theatre Centre, so it's not as old, but holy shit, these trucks are loud. Sorry. It's not as old, but this is kind of our theater district, I guess. But this is the first good example of the Chicago School of Architecture, right here. Sorry, it is a lot colder than I thought it was today. Chicago School of Architecture, which is like what a majority of Winnipeg is comprised of, is these Chicago style, or the Chicago School, which would have been emerging in the turn of the 20th century. And a lot of Winnipeg's downtown area is this architecture, besides a few buildings that I'll show you, which is like neoclassical, but primarily Chicago School. Oh my god, it is cold outside. I can't feel my face. There's cops over there, so we'll avoid that area. But so the Exchange District, why is it so like historically significant? Basically in 1919, the biggest strike in Canada's history happened here, the Winnipeg General Strike. At that time there was three main economic cities in Canada: Montreal, Winnipeg, and Vancouver. So as strikes go, working conditions weren't great, and so 30,000 people went on strike, effectively putting all of our economic activity at a standstill. Okay, so I actually literally just saw this. I had no idea this was here. This is kind of ironic though. This is the heart of the Exchange District though. As you can see, literally just the Chicago School all over. Winnipeg is actually used as a cheaper filming location to substitute at Chicago because of the architecture. But anyways, what's up? That's fun. I literally had no idea this was here. Cool. let's keep going. This area is, you know, typically used now as shopping. Again, it's kind of dangerous down here, so it's like on the verge of being dangerous and being trendy at the same time. I wouldn't be down here at night. Low-key kind of sketchy at the moment, but there's not really anyone here, so it's okay. Yeah. Welcome to what is left of Fort Garry. There's not a lot. This is Upper Fort Garry. There is a Lower Fort Garry as well. Lower Fort Garry isn't as historically significant, to be honest. Upper Fort Garry is where everything kind of happened. This is where Louis Riel, you know, held his prisoners. And this is essentially kind of all that's left of it. Not a whole lot. Now, I honestly would have to Google as to why there's only this much left of it. Actually, instead of doing that, why don't I just read the plaques that are literally right over here? And I'm sure I can tell you why there's not much left. Actually, an excellent representation of where all of our forts are right now. So right now we're at Upper Fort Garry, what's left of Upper Fort Garry. And then the next place I'll go is a place called the Forks, which is very significant for the fur trade and everything. And it's kind of a cool place, so I'll show you that. But that's where Fort Gibraltar is. This is was owned by the Northwest Company. Fort Douglas was built by the Hudson Bay Company. So this is what I mean by, like, they literally built things right next to each other. Kind of stupid, but as it is. Fort Rouge, where's Fort Rouge? Right here. This, as you can see, was built in 1738. One of, like, the only times the French really tried to get into this fur trade game. They built Fort Rouge. And this is where the Forks is, actually, as you can tell by the fork in the river. So we'll go see that. But before we go see that, I have to show you this hotel. Ignore the Baby Yoda mask. I forgot my good one at home. But anyways, this hotel right here, I'll show you the front soon. But this is the Fort Garry Hotel. They got really creative with naming it, didn't they? The Fort Garry Hotel. But the Fort Garry Hotel is a very historic hotel, the oldest in Winnipeg because it is a part of Canada's railway hotels. The railway station is, I can't switch this camera. The railway station is right there. Built by the people who built Grand Central Station in New York. Fun fact. Anyways, this is the Fort Garry. And all of these hotels, which are in every major city in Canada along the railway system, is built in a chateau-esque style. I had to Google it, but it's built in this style. They probably will not let me go in there. Let me switch this around. So this is the Fort Garry. Very expensive hotel, very historically rich hotel. And as all old hotels are, supposedly very, very haunted. I myself have called this hotel to ask them about these hauntings that happen, because there's one room that is like, you know, urban legend, room 110, I think, that this lady apparently died and now she roams the halls and, you know, all that stuff. So I called them one day years ago and I said, have you guys like heard of anything like this? Have you ever seen anything, blah, blah, blah? And sure enough, the front desk person did tell me that they always hear little kids giggling in the hallways when no one's there. And sometimes they see things out of the corner of their eye. And I'm like, it's something, I guess. So where I am now is a place called the Forks. I will go outside and show you more. But my God, I just took myself out with the door. Okay, so the Forks. Let me get over here a bit. So obviously these buildings are relatively new. These would have been erected in, if I'm gonna pull it out of my ass, probably mid 1900s. I will have to fact check that though. Anyways, the Forks. Why is the Forks so important? So the Forks, both for Native history and for the fur trade history, it's important in both regards. The Forks, like 6,000 years ago, would have been home to the Anishinaabe or the Cree tribes. There's been extensive archaeological digs done here that basically prove that. And it was always historically kind of a meeting place for a lot of indigenous tribes, being as it is literally on the river. The river is right there. This is the Red River. And because it's on this river, the Assiniboine River also connects here. It's the Assiniboine and the Red River, and then they connect, hence the name, the Forks. But this became important in the fur trade, essentially because it was on the river. So the first people who would have come here, oh my god, almost fell. The first people who would have come here were actually the French in 1728-ish, I think. And they came here by canoe through the river, came here and set up Fort Rouge, which was pretty much their only claim in the fur game industry, was Fort Rouge. And again, this was in like the mid 1700s. So yeah, Northwest Company nor Hudson Bay Company had any claim over the Forks. It was literally just a trading area, basically for anyone. It wasn't just for fur, it was for food, fishing, for everything pretty much. And it kind of stands true to that to this day. It's very multicultural in there, lots of food places. Winnipeg is comprised of, many ethnicities. Filipino being the biggest one. Filipino, East Indian, Ukrainian, Polish. That's very much reflected in there. There's just, there's just everything. There's literally just everything. So it's a cool area. And yeah, this is the Forks. Ice rink, very Canadian. People go skating on that in the summer. This is home to Salsa Sundays, which you already know. I'm there every summer, every July. Salsa Sundays is happening there. All these people look at me like I'm crazy. Okay, you're gonna have to ignore my dirty car. But I also just saw this while I was driving in, and apparently there's a statue of Gandhi. Where is it here? Which is super random, and either I've just never seen it before or this is kind of new. Oh, there he is right there. Gandhi. Don't know why. Actually, no, that kind of makes sense. It's probably new because this is the Human Rights Museum that broke 5 times while we were building it. But it's okay because it finally got finished. It's a very impressive building. It's an impressive museum. It's cool. And for our final stop of the day, we are at Fort Gibraltar. All that back here. But also, this is the site of Le Festival des Voyageurs, which happens every February. Obviously, this year we could not celebrate properly, but there is famous snow sculptures, which obviously are melting at this point. But it's a grand thing. All the snow sculptures every year. It's very fun, very cool. Honestly, I have not been here when it is not Festival des Voyageurs, so I'm not used to everything being so quiet. But yeah, this is also St. Boniface. This is our French part of the city. The fort might be closed, honestly, but we'll see. Actually kind of cool. So they just have it's basically just a declaration saying we're on treated land right now. They have it in Ojibwe, Cree, Dakota, and Michif. Michif is a mixture of Cree and French. This is what Métis people traditionally speak. People don't really speak it anymore. But yeah, just the different tribes. So that's kind of cool.